This hour for you on Daybreak, Springfield City Council extends the mask ordinance for the city. We'll have the details on how long. And what does the voter registration deadline really mean for voters? We need to hear from County Clerk Shane Scholler about that. Also, Casa of Southwest Missouri is in need of more volunteers. We'll explain why and how you can help. It's all ahead this morning for you on Daybreak. Good morning to you out there. Welcome into our second hour. It is Tuesday, October 6th. I'm Joe Morano. Jennifer Abreu has the morning off. We're here with you for the next 60 minutes, though, as is meteorologist Beth Finello joining us for the ride here. Good morning to you, Beth, bringing us a warmer start to our day than we had on Monday.
Much warmer.
Yes.
No 30s on my map.
No 30s on the map. That's all right. There were some frost advisories you were checking on yesterday. That doesn't seem it'll be the case for at least the next week, right?
Oh, no, not even close. Temperatures overnight will be in the 40s and 50s. And during the day, they're going to be in the 80s. Feels more like summer this week. We're starting off at 45 degrees in Branson, 5 to 15 degrees warmer than we were at this time yesterday. We're looking at 50 degrees in Springfield, 50 in Monette, 54 in Joplin, and 54 up in Camdenton. As you head out the door this morning, we will probably need a light jacket. Temperatures, again, in the 40s and 50s. I needed a light jacket heading out this morning. It was just a little bit chilly out there. You will not need it by this afternoon. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s and lower 80s as we head through the afternoon. So kids, heading out to the bus stop, you are going to need that jacket. Temperatures in the 40s, a cool start. Not going to need it by dismissal. Temperatures topping off at 80 degrees here in Springfield. Parents, go ahead, grab that extra large cup of coffee as you head out the door on this Tuesday morning. Here's what you need to grab before you go. A light jacket, you'll need your sunglasses, plenty of sunshine expected today. And of course, don't forget your mask, your phone, your keys, and your wallet. Here's what we're looking at. Warmer today, plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the 80s starting today, and that continues through the rest of this week. We're quiet into the weekend, still with plenty of sunshine. While we're quiet here in the Ozarks, there is a hurricane that is expected to make landfall by the end of this week. So if you know anyone that lives in Louisiana or Mississippi, you want to make sure that they are checking their local forecast and they're staying up to date with what's going on, because this hurricane is expected to make landfall as either a Category 2 or a Category 3 storm. I'll have your full forecast in 10 minutes.
Springfield City Council has passed an extension to the mask ordinance into the new year. The mandate was set to expire next week, but will now go to January 9th of 2021. 18 people showed up to speak out about this ordinance. Now, that's a low number compared to last time when 61 people showed up. Health Director Clay Goddard began comment on the bill, asking council to extend it. The presidents from MSU, OTC, Drury, and Evangel were in support, all of which credit the mask ordinance for lower case numbers on campus. There were still protests outside of City Council, though, with people believing this whole ordinance is not necessary at all.
Because I think that the masks are stupid. I don't see any reason for anybody to have them on.
Whether people want to wear one personally, that we would leave up to the liberty of their conscience to decide for themselves. But it should not be mandated by the government.
Also worth noting, the city says over 1,000 forms concerning the mask ordinance were submitted before council. Out of all those forms, more than 80% were in support of it. The city also got 255 phone calls, with 75% of those in support of the mandate. Body cameras will now be purchased for the entire Springfield Police Department force after a unanimous council vote last night. Those would be purchased using money from a previously approved tax to improve neighborhoods. 240 cameras in total will come in for SPD. Police also responded to a crash that happened on the 2000 block of East Bennett in response to possible car break-in attempts at an apartment complex. Officers spotted a white box truck leaving the area and proceeded to follow it. After attempting to stop it, the truck fled and caused an accident with another car. 2 suspects were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The passenger in the other vehicle was hospitalized with severe injuries, and this is right now an ongoing investigation. The voter registration deadline for Missouri is tomorrow. Now, we've heard some of your concern about being, quote, purged from the voter rolls, but because you didn't vote in a non-presidential election year. So we spoke to Greene County Clerk Shane Scholler about this, and he's confirming it's not true. The only way your name is purged from voter rolls is if you haven't updated your address in 2 consecutive federal elections. So for example here, if Greene County finds out you don't live at the address that they have you listed, you have to give them your updated address or confirm to them that you have not moved. If you don't do this, by federal law, you'll be considered an inactive voter. This doesn't mean you can't vote or haven't voted. It only means you haven't updated or verified your address. And if you don't do that for 2 consecutive federal elections, which in most cases is about 3 years, then your name will be removed. The reasoning behind this is for election integrity.
They didn't want people to continue to receive information regarding their voting, like voter ID cards, at an address in which they moved, because potentially that could contribute to fraud at some point on behalf of that voter. And they don't want someone using someone else's voter ID information to try to vote on their behalf.
Now, if you're mailing in your voter registration card, as long as it's postmarked before October 7th, you'll be within the deadline. For more on what happens if you miss that, you can check out ozarksfirst.com. The League of Women Voters will be holding a registration event today at the Alamo Draft House, and we spoke with Joan Gentry about the details.
So there will be a drive-through registration tomorrow at noon and then one in the evening. For the last groups of people who just couldn't get around to it, just remember to go to the Alamo Draft House and register then.
And you can also update your voter registration there if you have moved or you had a name change. You can all do that today. New for you this morning, Casa of Southwest Missouri needs volunteers who are willing to work with a child as they navigate the foster care system. Nigel McDonald met with the organization and joins us now in studio with more on how you could get involved. Nigel.
Yeah, Joe, well, good morning. The nonprofit is hosting a Coffee with Casa event later this morning. Laura Farmer serves as executive director and says the idea behind the event is to recruit more people for their program. Farmer says because the group is a volunteer organization, it's very important for them to have community awareness. She says due to the pandemic, there is an alarming number of children entering the foster care system. In 2019, on average, 29 children were placed into foster care every month in Greene County. This year, that number is up to 35 children per month. Farmer says with this increase, the group must work to ensure every child is assigned an advocate who will be by their side throughout their foster care experience.
Our children in foster care are constantly used to change. These are kids who have been traumatized due to abuse and neglect going on in their home situations. And then when you compile the pandemic on top of that trauma that they're experiencing, it can be a very confusing and difficult time. So by us providing them with a Casa volunteer who's visiting them constantly, checking in with them, making sure that they have what they need to be successful, we can help our children build resilience.
Well, the event is today from 10 a.m. until 2 this afternoon at Neighbor Mills East Sunshine Street location. Visit our website at ozarksfirst.com for more information.
We are starting off this morning with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Yesterday, we topped off at 70 here in Springfield, and that was the beginning of a warming trend as we head through the day today as well. Temperatures will be in the 80s, and then we're in the middle and upper 80s tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine. Don't go anywhere. I'll have your full forecast after the break.